Hi there, it's Mike. In the last blog that I wrote, I talked about sending kind of less sales emails and actually picking the phone up and speaking to people, and got a really good response. If you've not read it, it's worth a look. However, someone left a comment on there, thanks Des, and he said, well look, that's all well and good, but how do you actually get through to the decision maker on the telephone? And that's what this blog is all about, actually getting through to the person that you want to on the telephone. Why would you want to do that? Two reasons. First of all, it speeds up the sales process significantly, and secondly, if you speak to people on the telephone, you'll create better quality relationships, stronger business relationships in less time. So there's a lot to play for here. Now, the strategy that we're going to use here, it's got three parts to it. And if you use all of them together, that's when the magic happens. That's when you actually make a difference. So let's look at the first one of those, and that is do your groundwork. So what kind of groundwork? Well, two things. We need to gather some data that we can use, and we need to understand the communication channels that we can use later. So let's just very quickly run through the data that you need to collect. First of all, do they have a PA, personal assistant? If so, what is that person's name and contact details? Secondly, are they an early starter or a late finisher? Sometimes they're both. You need to gather that information as well. Crucially, do they have a direct dial number, a DD number, or a mobile number, a cell phone number? And really it's the cell phone that we want, and then the direct dial. We want both of those. Also, in terms of communication channels, are they on Twitter? Because if they are, you should follow them. And if they're on LinkedIn, you should simply ask whether you can connect on LinkedIn. Now, all of that foundation data, it might not seem very much now, makes a massive difference a little later on. So let's move on now to the second of our strategies, which is call out of hours. Why is calling out of hours important? Well, I'll tell you. Most decision makers have full days, you know, from 9 till 5, sometimes 8:30 till 5:30. They're locked into meetings or preparing for meetings or traveling to meetings or something or other. So really, the ability to speak to them during that period, and even if you do get through, to get their attention is limited. So you have already asked whether they're early starter or late finisher. If they've given you that information, then ring when they tell you. If they're an early starter, it's a good idea to say something like, well, oh, so if I needed to speak to you, I'd probably catch you kind of 8:20 in the morning, 8:15 or something. Yeah, that'd be fine. Make a note of it in CRM and call then. If you can't get that information, then you can take a flyer. And the two times that you can go for is 8:20 in the morning or about 5:45 at night. Now, in many companies, the switchboard will be closed then, which is why it's so crucial to get the direct dial number and or the mobile number. Really, really important. So that's our second strategy. And by the way, so as you know, if I could only use one strategy in the whole of sales, it would be that one. The third thing is to make an appointment. Why would we want to make an appointment? Because if it's in someone's diary, they're more likely to keep it, obviously. So if they've got a PA, you can either ring their PA or get your own PA to ring their PA and actually put something in the diary. Mine does it all the time, and she reckons, I spoke to her before this blog, probably 90 to 95% of the time she gets that appointment, and almost always that appointment is kept. You can send something over by Twitter, a direct message or a tweet, so we need to speak, is it okay if I ring you at this time? You can do the same on a LinkedIn in-mail, provided you're connected. They're 3 times more likely to actually respond to an email that you've sent through LinkedIn than a raw email, so that's not quite the same. You can use SMS, text, provided you know them well enough. And lastly, if you know them really well, or if you've warned them that this is going to happen, you can actually send through an Outlook appointment. So the whole point of this is to actually get something in the diary that they know is going to happen, they know what it's for, and they're much more likely to take the call and talk to you. So if you combine those 3 strategies, collecting the right data, ringing out of hours, and pre-warning people, you will dramatically increase the chances of actually getting through to the decision maker that you actually want and getting the result that you want. Alternatively, you can send emails and nothing happens. Okay, as usual, delighted if you could leave a comment. I'd really appreciate that. If you're watching this video anywhere other than mikeamesonline.com, swish over there, because that's where all the sexy stuff is. And as we say in Flair, if you want it, go and get it. Take care now, and I'll see you next time.